little highlights of why the public is losing confidence in this industry to do anything proper or right. Nuclear energy is not competitive. It's the most expensive and dangerous form of energy that we could possibly use. Plus, the waste problem is a serious issue. Actually, in reality, as it stands now, not necessarily mentioning where Dr. Bowman went, the promotion of nuclear energy is a promotion for weapons of mass destruction, either by accident, terrorism, or by using nuclear energy as a cover for bomb making. And Dr. Bowman's presentation is very good because what it really shows is the industry where it is right now should stop where it is right now because it doesn't solve any of the issues. It doesn't solve the waste issue. It doesn't solve the plutonium issue. So why are we building more of the same? And actually, I've mentioned this before. Why are we building more of the same? It doesn't solve any of the issues. So there shouldn't be this buildup of the same reactors going in the same direction that produces more waste, that really we don't have any solutions, even though I know it's mentioned that we do have the solutions, but obviously we don't. We've sunk in billions and billions of dollars on Yucca Mountain, which wouldn't be feasible. If it was, it would already be full. That's why the feds are looking for multiple deep geological repositories. And now we're talking about interim storage, which could be 60 years or longer, trucking the waste, high-level waste, across the country on truck or on trains to these facilities, when we've already seen oil and gas bomb trains, as they're now being called. This is not a solution. We should stop making this waste as it stands right now. And I have to say, I disagree. If we're going to look at nuclear energy as an asset, I think you've got to go ahead and complement that with what are the liabilities. Well, I think the liabilities are great. And we've got a whole bunch of nuclear power plants that are on the coastline of rising tides, storm surge that are going up with the hurricanes. And then, you know, the recent reports about drones and issues with drones and security. That's a huge issue. So nuclear power plants, as they stand right now, are actually more of a liability in security than they actually are an asset to us here in this country. So, and as it goes for North Anna, building a third reactor, again, more of the same, in a known seismic zone, where both our reactors 1 and 2 were knocked offline, closed for 3 months, and the design basis was exceeded. And we've had an ongoing tritium leak that exceeds EPA drinking levels, but luckily it's only on the property right now of 70,000 picocuries that goes up and down, but Dominion, as stated at one meeting, cannot find the leak, so they can't fix it. The USGS just came out with a report the other day stating half of the United States is at risk for damaging earthquakes. And we're not talking about necessarily just a 5.8 here in Virginia, because they've also stated we could experience even stronger earthquakes. California, the gentleman that spoke earlier, yeah, they're not interested. Well, they're not interested because of the earthquake faults, etc. But here recently with the reports on the San Madrid and the, what is that other one? The San Andreas. We're looking at some really potentially very destructive earthquakes. And so, you know, we're actually going in the wrong direction. If the industry really wants to be the leader in anything, really where it needs to be leading, it's in waste management. And obviously, I'm sure Areva and Transnuclear now moving forward with the cask and development of that, because all the fuel pools and all the reactors is filled to the brim. They've been re-racked, they've been reconfigured, and they're holding more waste than they were ever originally designed. They're a security risk, especially with recent reports of the earthquake stuff from the United States Geological Survey. So again, like I'm usually here, it's the wrong direction, especially if we're going to promote any kind of nuclear industry here, it should be in waste management and controlling the, I'll have to say, I really dislike the idea of wanting to put loads of nuclear waste underground in one of our counties, and especially not interested in taking anybody else's waste at all. But the idea of North Anna being far north of 10 billion, and recently it was announced it would be more like $19 billion to put a reactor at North Anna in a seismic zone in a known fault line would be a huge mistake and put us in Virginia at a huge risk. And you know, that goes on to say too, as it goes for these new reactors, that we don't need the uranium, and we've got Virginia Uranium Company now, because at our legislative session, and our governor that kept our ban on uranium mining that we've had for over 30 years, now they're upset, so now they're going to sue our state and go after the governor or whoever, because we don't want them to mine uranium in our state. The people don't want it. We don't want to take the risk of our water being contaminated and being left with however millions of tons of radioactive tailings. And even Dominion had mentioned at another meeting that they really weren't interested in uranium. It'd be for export. So what we've seen of China too, by the way, they've had a currency issue going on. And besides that, we know from all the past experiences, and even the gentleman mentioned earlier, they lie. They also lie about their products, and et cetera. You know, they'll probably be the next ones to experience another huge nuclear disaster. I don't want a disaster in my state. I want to see us move forward with renewables, and by the Clean Energy Plan, we're only off by 20%, which we can meet through energy efficiency and more solar, and Dominion that was given the $51 million from the Department of Energy to go forward with the 2 windmills off our coast. That's the direction we need to go in. We don't need these kind of risks here in the state, and we need to stop producing the waste. And I think that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Is anybody else?